I'm Robert C. Dupree, and I want to bring to the American people's attention, it is still involving and going on this civil rights battle about and against General Mills, but this is the latest in the update on this here. Okay, I was suing Lamar's Advertising, but my point I wanted to bring out before I touch basis on that is that I want to bring out how that General Mills has been allowed to use our judicial court system here, right down here in the three courts here that I'm about ready to speak and bring out and resolve in a matter of what they have allowed to happen and go on in this ongoing battle around up over here. For one, I want to bring to the American people's attention about a complaint against the judicial court system around here. Now, we all know on the most part how a lot of the corruption and stuff that goes on behind the walls of the courts and things, so that's no big secret on that. But I want to give my own personal experience of how I am still being deprived civil and constitutional rights, and how that there are fraud up on the courts here dealing with down here that I want to bring out in regards of my complaint against our judicial court system involving in this matter against my civil rights that's been ongoing with General Mills and even here with Lamar's Advertiser. So I just want to give a little insight more on this here. And my point I want to bring out where fraud up on the courts involving with down here in the United States District, Western District of Missouri, down here in the Kansas City area, right here located on 400 East 9th Street here in the Kansas City area downtown, as I stated, and then up here in the Court of Appeal, which is in St. Louis, and also, unfortunately to say, even the United States Supreme Court involving in this court and this cause of action of mine. And the reason why I say that is because it's true, meaning that after I had filed suit, I went to the state court, and the defendants, who was Lamar's and Advertising them, once they found out that this is where I had filed suit against them at, and I explained later on why I did that, they had immediately had it to go and be transferred over to the state, from the state court over into the United States District Court or the federal court. Now the problem with that is that I have found out that the same judge that was on my case against, when I was filing suit against General Mills, my union, the former attorney and lawyers and all these other folks around up over here, the same judge, he was assigned to this case. And we know that is a major conflict of interest, especially when I had to take and file a complaint several times against him back here in 2011 for fraud, dismissing the case with its entirety with prejudice, refusing to send all documents up to the higher up court, which would be the Court of Appeal, leaving off information, lying, saying that it's no grounds when I filed motions requesting for him to send all the information. Now they got all this here, information here, from prior. Now, why would the district court and them allow this same judge to be on this case here, which is a new lawsuit against Lamar's Advertising? Why would they allow this here? And when I filed motions to recuse and to get him off, I filed so many times to recuse to get this judge off of this case around up over here, it got so to the point where the judge had actually started telling the courts to deny and void any of my motions that is requiring for him to be recused off of this case, despite law saying that he never should have been on there. And if he was, he should have recused and gotten himself off the case. But instead, he remained on it and denied and gave motions saying that he denied and recused himself off of it. This is what they did, this particular judge here, when I continuously filed motions recusing and asking the courts to get him off the case, or he himself remove himself off the case. This is what they did. They voided. They put void on it to deny it. And we're talking about here in 2016. We ain't talking about back over in 2000 and 1999. When we were right here, this a few months ago, a couple of months. My point is, the fraud up on the court is when I continuously filing motions, and when I even went to the Court of Appeal addressing these issues and things around here. In the Court of Appeals, the United States Supreme Court, all of them have this information regarding this particular judge. And even when I had went to the United States Supreme Court, this same judge is mentioned in the writ of certiorari and even in my rehearing about him lying and withholding information and stuff, and I had to file complaint. Why is it that the district court is allowing this same judge to be on this lawsuit, which is a new lawsuit, even though it still involves General Mills? That is a major conflict of interest. And you know, according to the Supreme Court law, I want to read what over here in the U.S. codes and things around here is talking about the disqualification is required by law under 28 U.S.C. 455. This judge is to recuse and get himself off of the case. In spite of the opposing counsel, or the defendants, and in spite of what the Court of Appeal and the chief judges and them are saying, that it appears that, well, what the judge had done is all right, and they coming up with different laws and stuff that don't even apply in this here case, because under this particular law, 28 U.S.C. 455, and laws regarding to federal laws and pertaining to the judges to disqualify themselves if there's any reasonable questions within his impartiality. If there's any issues that have been raised about his character, he should be off the case, period. What the United States Supreme Court says here in this matter here, that the United States Supreme Court has ruled and affirmed the principle that justice must satisfy the appearance of justice. And it speaks about here the Levin versus the United States here, and it's from the book 362 of the U.S., and then at 6th page, that is 610. And earlier here, this particular judge, you know, after, you know, even he himself had quoted the laws and things that a judge, any judge of the United States should recuse himself off under these particular laws here and things around here. But yet, he gets up here and try to twist it around here, talking about, well, after he stated that he had intentionally lied, alleging that plaintiff had also argued that the undersigned should recuse himself because the plaintiff had previously filed suit against him or threatened to sue him. I ain't ever threatened to sue him or sue him no more than I got on the space shuttle. Never. Under the law, this judge or any other judge, if there's any particular conflict of interest or whatever it is, should recuse himself. And the United States, you know, requires this here. And by not doing so here, who, you know, it speaks about how the magistrate is obligated by law and is bound to obey and to follow the law. And should a judge that intentionally do not disqualify himself under this law is in blatant violation of due process clause, which means of the United States Constitution. These judges, chief judges, the Court of Appeal, the District Court, United States Supreme Court, all of them knows this. Hey, I'm pro se, a lay person. If I know this, I know they know, because they're trained and skilled in the law. But however, they want to make it appear that whatever this judge do, despite blatant violation and deprivations and conspiracy that is blatantly proven in documents and legal documents, they still make it appear like, oh, well, this judge didn't do anything wrong. Making it look like I'm the one that's wrong for making a complaint to stand up for my right that has been wronged. However, the law is still requiring that this judge should be recused off the case. So I filed motions. I went to the United States Court of Appeals, and the chief judge up there, he's the same judge previously from my previous lawsuit filed against General Mills, when I had to file a complaint against this same judge that I'm talking about right now. And the same judge is the same judge. If you look at down here on my videos, I think it's 42 and 43. Well, that's the same judge I'm talking about right now here in this here video that I'm speaking about in regards to him refusing to recuse himself off. and the law requires for him to get off the case, especially if there's a conflict of interest and there is any motions or anything that's been filed around up over here. And everything I'm saying, I'm not just saying because I'm just some angry, mad black person that's trying to blow smoke and steam. I'm saying it under the full penalty of perjury because it's already filed in the courts, and the very thing I'm saying now is also filed in the courts with these courts around up over here. But still yet I have been deprived my right to a jury trial. They will not give me my jury trial. So I filed so many complaints pertaining to this judge. Well, instead of them allowing the judge to dismiss this case, well, the courts decide to dismiss this case. My question is, why come the court didn't decide to dismiss him off of this case? That wasn't, I guess, proper. So, however, the case had been closed, and I respectfully informed them that I will continue to challenge the decision of the courts and the order of the chief judge up here in St. Louis, up here in the Court of Appeal. Because according to law, that judge should have been off the case. And by not doing so, well, then it's fraud on the courts. And everyone that seemed, and I say everyone, I'm referring to like the courts, everyone seemed to be disbacking what this judge had done. Like, hey, everything is okay, coming up with other different laws and things. But under this particular law, it says that he should have been recused off of. And other federal laws and stuff that refers to judges being recused. And I can't even begin one understanding that my main biggest complaint is when they removed my case that I'm talking about against Lamar's them from the state court back over to the federal, because that's one reason why I went over to the state court. I didn't want to have nothing to do with the federal court because I already knew that this judge, whoever, he would no doubt, he is still over there, and I know they're working together with General Mills, obviously, because of what he had done previously and prior, and then look at what's going on right now. My problem is, and I filed motion requesting and speaking in strong opposition about why this case is being pulled over there to the darn federal court right up over here, and especially after I found out that the same judge here that did what he did in my previous lawsuit against General Mills has been the one that's been assigned on this here case. Now, how did that come about? Well, obviously, it was made to come about. And what's more ironic about all that is that when I filed from the state court back over here into the federal court around over, and I believe that was August the 26th of 2015 during that particular time, for some strange reason or another, and I've been in and out of courts for years, battling for civil and constitutional rights and to get justice because of what has been done. I have never encountered what I have encountered when I had filed my motion in after they had pulled it from the state court over to the federal court, and I went to the federal court and filed motion to get it going in there. I was assigned security escort. Literally. Like, where'd this come from? Why am I being put under security escort watch? Like I'm some common criminal or some convict or some wild person that just, disturbed the peace or something, or, where this come from? Oh, well, they was just, the security just told me, oh, well, we was just required and to have you under security escort. Why? Oh, well, there's no reason given. So I filed motion requesting why to the judge, to the court, and even to the U.S. Marshal. Why am I being put under security escort? I never have any run-ins with the law or any issues or any felonies or none of this craziness or any other issues even in the courts with any of the security ever. So where's all this coming from? Oh, well, no reason was given. Other than the judge, when he did make a reply, he stated, well, it has nothing to do with my complaining against him or his impartiality. Well, so he just denied it. Well, he ain't, going to give any reason as to why I'm being put under security escort, because apparently it has nothing to do with him and my complaint against him being on this case or being recused off of it. So the U.S. Marshal or the district court, none of them give any reasons on that. Why? And even still right now today, still haven't. Still right now today. And here it is 2016. And I still haven't given it. So every time I go in there, I'm always put and assigned literally to a security escort to wherever I go.